The needles dancing on the very last groove. I'm paralyzed watching the spinning wheel move. We were a symphony of thunder and sound. Now we're just friction on a merry-go-round. The static is rising like a feverish heat to drown out the rhythm of our fading heartbeat. I remember the bridge where the harmony soared, back when I was in a song you ignored. But the vinyl is scratched and the jacket is torn, and I'm shivering here in the light of the moon. We reached the end of the record, the final refrain. The music is gone, but I still feel the strain of the pops and the clicks and the hollowed out air, searching for melodies that are no longer there. It's a rhythm starter, a loop of the soul, a broken down story that lost all control. Yeah, the silence is heavy as a needle descends on the end of the record where the forever ends. I'm scared to lift the arm and shut off the spark, because then I'll be sitting alone in the dark. The label is blurred from the tears I let fall, just a spinning black circle against the white wall. We played it so loud that the windows would shake. Now the quiet's the only thing left here to break. Should I flip it over and try to begin, or is the B-side as empty as the state that I'm in? No, the songs have all played and the lyrics are dry. There's no use in singing another goodbye. We've reached the end of the record, the final refrain. The music is gone, but I still feel the strain of the pops and the clicks and the hollowed out air, searching for melodies that are no longer there. It's a rhythmic stutter, a loop of the soul, a broken down story that lost all control. Yeah, the silence is heavy as the needle descends on the end of the record where the forever ends. That's the sound of us leaving. That's the sound of me grieving. The motor is stopping, the needle is dropping, the song is done. I used to see the edge of the world from your porch, back when our love was a high-rising torch. The fields went for miles, the sky was a sea, and everything possible waited for me. But now the fence line is moving in close, and the shadows are taller than anyone knows. The wide open road is a narrowing lane, and the blue of the distance is bleeding with stain. I'm reaching for someday, but grabbing the wall. The world that we promised is stuck There's no more later, no more out there. Just the smell of the dust and the taste of the air. I look at the mountains and they're fading to gray, like the giants we were just melting away. The map on the table is a tangled up mess of a world getting smaller with every caress. I'm standing on a pedestal that's turning to stone, a tiny island where I'm left all alone. The ocean is rising, the land's giving way, till there's only enough room for yesterday. Oh, the horizon is shrinking with every goodbye, closing the curtains on the light in the sky. The future is pouring its borders back in to the size of the room that I'm shivering in. It's a claustrophobic kind of a heartbreak, my dear, when the forever we saw is suddenly here. I'm losing my vision, I'm losing the view, because the horizon is shrinking along with you. Coming in, closing down, the smallest ghost in this lonely town. The line is gone, the sky is gone, just me. The bottle's been sitting on the edge of the wave. I drank down the memories as fast as I could, but the glass is a mirror of a deep velvet red, reflecting the ghosts of the words that we said. I'm tilting the crystal, I'm chasing the stain of a vintage that's flavored with nothing but pain. The label is peeling, the corks on the floor, like the welcome that's hanging on your bolted door. I've savored the sweetness, I've swallowed the tart. Now I'm down to the dregs of this broken down heart. I'm holding on to the last drop of wine, the final remains of when you were still mine. It's bitter and heavy, as cold as the night, a liquid goodbye in the flickering light. Once it is gone, then the vision is through, and I'll have to face it tomorrow without you. Yeah, the cellar is empty, the branches are dry. I'm drinking the never and kissing goodbye. In the last drop of wine, I remember the harvest, the sun on your face, before we let gravity ruin this place. We poured out our secrets like water and gold. Now the glass in my hand is the only thing I hold. It's a lonely communion, a solitary toast to the girl that I loved and the man I fear most. Don't let it reach the bottom, don't let it run out, because silence is all that is left here to shout. If I keep one small sip at the base of the glass, maybe the ghost of our summer won't pass. I'm holding on to the last drop of wine, the final remains of when you were still mine. It's bitter and heavy, it's cold as the night, a liquid goodbye in the flickering light. Once it is gone, then the vision is through, and I'll have to face it tomorrow without you. Yeah, the cellar is empty, the branches are dry. I'm drinking the never and kissing goodbye. And the last drop of wine, one more till watch it spill over the edge of my fading will. The glass is clear, the end is here. Just the stain, just the rain, the last drop. The golden hour is bleeding through the cracks in the blinds. Tracing all the promises we're leaving behind. The salt is on the breeze and the sand is in the hole, but there's a chill in the air that doesn't feel like fall. We're still wearing our tan lines like a secret we can keep, while the love we spent all August on is falling fast asleep. It's the last summer of us, the end of the heat, the taste of the cherry, so bitter and sweet. We're watching the sun drown in the edge of the sea, knowing tomorrow there's no you and me. The boardwalk is empty, the carnival's gone, and I'm terrified of waking to a September dawn. Yeah, it's the last summer of us. Your hand is on the wheel, but you're already miles away. Searching for the exit sign and the words you shouldn't say. We parked by the lighthouse where the world used to end. Before we were strangers, trying to act like we're friends. The radio was static, playing songs we used to know back when we didn't have a single place to go. Pack the towels in the trunk, shake the ghosts from the sheets, leave the keys on the counter of the house on Cove Street. The fire on the beach is just embers and ash. Funny how a lifetime can end in a flash. It's the last summer of us, the end of the heat, the taste of the cherry, so bitter and sweet. We're watching the sun drown in the edge of the sea, knowing tomorrow there's no you and me. The boardwalk is empty, the carnival's gone, and I'm terrified of waking to a September dawn. It's the last they're scared to see you not coming back. The garden is silver, the shadows are long, and the wind is humming a funeral song. I'm looking up at that pale, lonely face, watching the light vanish out of this place. There's a heaviness clinging to the pine, a reflection of this broken heart of mine. The clouds are heavy with the weight they can't keep. Even the heavens are starting to weep. Can't you see the moon is crying tonight, bleeding its silver and losing its light? Every drop is a memory of when you were mine, falling like rain on a bitter design. It's mourning the glow that we used to share. Now it's just hanging in the cold, empty air. The tides are rising from a sea of blue, because the moon is crying for you. The white light is streaked with a watery gray, like it's trying to wash all our footprints away. It saw us dancing when the world was in bloom. Now it's just a spotlight for an empty room. It's seen a billion souls fall apart, but it's never seen a crack like the one in my heart. Is it lonely up there in the velvet and dark, searching the world for a single small spark? Or is it just a mirror for the tears on my face, a giant white witness to my fall from grace? Can't you see the moon is crying tonight, bleeding its silver and losing its light? Every drop is a memory of when you were mine, falling like rain on a bitter design. It's mourning the glow that we used to share. Now it's just hanging in the cold, empty air. The tides are rising from a sea of blue, because the moon is crying for you. So would it be drowning my dreams? The sky is a river of never again. Let it rain. Let it rain. The moon is crying. The primary colors appealing in the sun, a rusted out reminder of when we were the only ones. I'm sitting on the swing set, the chains are biting cold, watching all the silver turn to iron in a mold. The wood chips are scattered like the things we used to say before we grew too heavy for the games we used to play. It's the playground where we met under a sky of robin's egg blue, where I promised my lunchbox and my whole heart to you. We were kings of the slide, we were masters of the air, with the wind in our lungs and the tingles in our hair. But the merry-go-round is stuck in the dirt, and I'm the only one left to remember it's just a ghost of a playground now. I see the height marks we carved into the old, a little wooden timeline before the spirit broke. You said we reached the treetops, you said we never land, but you let go of the railing and you let go of my hand. Now the sandbox is empty, just a desert in the park, and the street lights are flickering, afraid of the dark. They say you can't go back, but I'm standing in the lane, trying to find a shelter from the settled kind of rain. I trade every wisdom and every bit of truth to be back on the monkey bars, back inside our youth. Yeah, it's the playground where we met under a sky of robin's egg blue, where I promised my lunchbox and my whole heart to you. We were kings of the slide, we were masters of the air, with the wind in our lungs and the tangles in our hair. But the merry-go-round is stuck in the dirt, and I'm the only one left who remembers how it hurts. Yeah, it's just a ghost of a playground now. Push me one more time, let me feel the climb, but the seat is empty and the park is quiet, just a playground where we used to be. The bark is rough against my spine, just like the day you said you're mine. Our names are carved, a shallow scar, back when we didn't look so far. But the sap is dry, the wood is cold, a summer story growing old. Now the leaves are falling like a slow goodbye, and I'm reaching for a branch that's gone bone dry. We built a kingdom in the canopy high, where we'd steal the wind and own the sky. But the roots have withered and the air is thin, and I don't know where the ground begins. I'm sitting here on the lowest limb of the tree we used to climb. I see a footprint in the dirt, a little ghost of where it hurts. The tire swing is hanging dead, with all the words we never said. I used to see the world from here when the horizon felt so near. They say that things with deep roots stay, but I watched you slowly drift away. Now I'm just a weight the timber can't hold in a forest that's suddenly gray and cold. Yeah, the leaves are falling like a slow goodbye, and I'm reaching for a branch that's gone bone dry. We built a kingdom in the canopy high, where we'd steal the wind and own the sky. But the roots have withered and the air is thin, and I don't know just a memory of the hurt. I'm coming down now into the night, the tree we used to climb. I reach into the garden where the red used to bloom, but the color's all been sucked out of this quiet, empty room. I remember the fragrance and the velvet on my skin before the winter shadows started settling. Now the petals have withered and blown across the floor, and I'm reaching for a beauty that isn't there anymore. My palms are full of silver scars, a map of where we went. I'm still breathing in the ghost of a long forgotten, but the stems are dry and jagged, and the garden's gone to gray, and the love we used to cultivate has simply stripped away. Now I'm just holding on to thorns without the rose, feeling every sharp regret as the cold wind blows. You took away the sweetness and you left me with the sting, the jagged little pieces of a broken-hearted thing. I'm bleeding for a memory that's nothing but a ghost, holding on to the part of you that hurts me the most. Yeah, the beauty's gone to heaven, but the bitter part grows, and I'm left with the thorns without the rose. While the soft and tender parts of us were the first to fade. They say that every flower has its price to pay in pain, but I'm standing in the garden and I'm looking for the rain to wash away the iron and to blunt the sharpened edge, but I'm just tangled in the wire of a dying autumn hedge. Now I'm just holding on to thorns without the rose, feeling every sharp regret as the cold wind blows. You took away the sweetness and you left me with the sting, the jagged little pieces of a broken-hearted thing. I'm bleeding for a memory that's nothing but a ghost, holding on to the part of you that hurts me the most. Yeah, the beauty's gone to heaven, but the bitter part grows, and I'm left with the thorns without the rose. Nothing left to pick, just the sharp and steady nick of a love that's lost its bloom. The rose is gone, but the thorn stays. If a single sharp and take a breath. a bruise, a deep shade of purple and black. I'm standing on the porch, watching the clouds start to stack. There's a roar in the distance, a tremble beneath my feet, like the ghost of our footsteps walking down this empty street. The air is so heavy, it's harder and harder to breathe, waiting for the storm that never seems to leave. I'm bracing for the downpour to wash away the heat, to cleanse the bitter taste of a love that's in retreat. But the clouds are just teasing, they're holding it all inside, much like the secrets that you always try to hide. It's just thunder without rain, all of the noise and none of the relief for the pain. The ground is still thirsty, the dust is still dry, while the echoes of goodbye roll across the sky. A hollow vibration, a warning I didn't heed, giving me the lightning but never the water I need. Yeah, my heart is a desert waiting on a storm in vain, living in the echo of thunder without rain. You used to be the flood that broke through every wall. Now you're just the rumbling before the shadows fall. The trees are all shivering, reaching for a drop, but the sound keeps on building and it won't ever stop. It's a violent silence between every jagged flash, a promise of a fire that'll only leave a sash. If you're gonna break me, then let the sky open wide. Don't leave me in this tension with nowhere left to hide. I'd rather be drowning than waiting for the cloud to break. I'd rather feel the sting than this dull and heavy ache. It's just thunder without rain, all of the noise and none of the relief for the pain. The ground is still thirsty, the dust is still dry, while the echoes of goodbye roll across the sky. A hollow vibration, a warning I didn't heed, giving me the lightning but never the water I need. Yeah, my heart is a desert waiting on a storm in vain, living in the echo of thunder without rain, rolling in the dark, but it never leaves a mark. Just a sound, just a shake, just another heart about to break. But the rain never comes. No, the rain never comes. I'm staring at the hollow space inside your dresser drawer and listening for the phantom sound of boots across the floor. The calendar is lying, saying it's a brand new day, but the clock just keeps on taking all the parts of you away. I try to hold the memory of the way you said my name, but every hour it doesn't sound the same. Oh, time is a thief with a velvet touch, stealing the little that felt like so much. He took the way your eyes would lie, the way you used to lean, and left me in the wreckage of the days that come between. I'm begging for a minute just to keep a piece of us, but everything I'm holding is turning into dust. Yeah, time is a thief, and he's never coming back. The scent of your tobacco is fading from the hall. The shadows of our dancing are shrinking on the wall. I'd trade 1,000 futures for a single yesterday, before the years began to wash the color into gray. Every tick is like a hammer, every talk is like a wall, building up a distance till I can't reach you at all. They say that time is a healer, that it mends a broken soul, but it's only digging deeper, it's only taking toll. He's a pickpocket of passion, a robber of the heart, the master of the science of pulling us apart. Oh, time is a thief with a velvet touch, stealing the little that felt like so much. He took the way your eyes would lie, the way you used to lean, and left me in the wreckage of the days that come between. I'm begging for a minute just to keep a piece of us, but everything I'm holding is turning into dust. Yeah, time is a thief, and he's never coming back. Wait, just let me remember the way the light hit your face in December. He's moving the hands, he's shaking the sand. Gone, he's gone. Tick, silence. Tick, silence. Tick, tick, silence, silence. Tick, tick, silence. I've been the anchor in the middle of your gale, holding up the rigging in the tattered white sail. I kept my shoulders steady and my jawline tight, while I watched out forever go and vanish in the night. But the iron is rusting and the wood is getting thin, and I'm losing the battle with the tide coming in. 'Cause I'm tired of being strong, tired of the brave, tired of being the one who's supposed to behave. I wanna let the walls down, let the ceiling fall, and admit that I'm not standing very tall at all. My heart is a weight that I can't seem to carry in a house where the ghosts are the only things I marry. Yeah, I'm just tired of being strong. Everyone's calling, I ask if I'm okay. I give them the fine and I turn the other way, but the fine is a lie that's getting harder to tell when I'm sitting in the middle of this quiet private hell. I'm the shoulder for the weak and the hand for the fall, but there's nobody catching me, nobody at all. Is there a price for the one who doesn't break, for the one who has the tremor and the one who has the ache? Because I trade the metal and I trade the gold to be someone's little instead of someone's old. Yeah, I'm tired of being strong, tired of just time. Just time. Just I'm picking up the pieces from the bedroom rug, but running to the light that we used to snug. There's a jagged white edge where the binding gave way to the weight of the things that I couldn't quite say. I see February 10th in a frantic blurred hand, back when we were building our castles of sand. Now the ink is a river, the paper is snow. I'm watching the secrets I wanted to know, flutter like wings in the drop from the door. I don't even know what I'm looking here for. They're just torn pages from a diary tonight, scattered like ashes in the pale morning light. A sentence unalways, a paragraph gone. I'm reading the ending from dusk until dawn. Every rip is a heartbeat, every crease is a lie, a paper thin heaven that started to die. I'm trying to take back the us that I lost. The torn pages are all that I'm left with to cost. Here's a leaf from a park that I pressed in the center, a key to a garden I'll never re-enter. It's half missed and now just a stem in the void, like the trust that we slowly and surely destroyed. I'm holding a scrap with your name at the top, and I'm praying the bleeding is finally gonna stop. Will the smoke just be shaped like the essence of you? It's a hollowed out history, a ledger of sins, where nobody loses and nobody wins. They're just torn pages from a diary tonight, scattered like ashes in the pale morning light. A sentence on always, a paragraph gone. I'm reading the yearning from dusk until dawn. Every whip is a heartbeat, every crease is a lie, a paper thin heaven that started to die. I'm trying to take back the us that I lost. The torn pages are all that I'm left with to cost. Pick 'em up, let 'em fall. There's no use in reading it all, just a scrap of a kiss, just a fragment of bliss. The margins are crowded with scribbles and dates of 1,000 I love yous and heavy debates. I've lingered on chapter 11 for weeks, tracing the tear stains that ran down your cheeks. But the paper is thin and the ink's running dry, and there's no more room left for hello or why. I've memorized every comma and dot of the beautiful battle that we never fought. But a story that stays on the shelf is a lie, and the sun's getting low in the library sky. I'm turning the final page of the book, giving our history one last long look before the end hits the bottom of the white, and I'm forced to walk out into the cold night. It's a heavy rotation of the wrist and the soul, handing the narrative back its control. the spine is all broken, the cover is blue, as I'm turning the final page over you. I wanna go back to the prologue again, before we were enemies, back when we're friends. But the plot has its gravity, the climax is done, and the shadows are swallowing up every sun. I'm holding the corner, it's shaking and small, waiting for the silence to settle on all. Don't tell me the sequel will be better than this. Don't tell me there's life after the very last kiss, because once the back cover is closed on the wood, I'm leaving the us where we both understood. I'm turning the final page of the book, giving our history one last long look, before the end hits the bottom of the wide, and I'm forced to walk out into the cold night. It's a heavy rotation of the wrist and the soul, handing the narrative back its control. Yeah, the spine is all broken, the cover is bruised, as I'm turning the final page over you. Flip it over, let it rest. I've given this story the best of my best. The sound of a heavy book closing, the ink is dry, the story is done, goodbye. Sitting on the edge of the velvet chair, tracing the shadows in the hallway air. The keys are on the counter where you let them fall, and your coat is still a ghost against the back wall. I've counted every floorboard, every grain of wood, listening for the sorry that I never understood. The house is a love that's forgotten to breathe, since the moment you decided it was time to leave. I'm paralyzed here in the amber of us, watching our kingdom turn and settle down dust. I'm just waiting for a door to swing wide, to let the forever back in from the outside. But the hinges are rusted and the handle is cold, on a story that's already been bought and sold. It's a hollow-eyed vigil, a desperate prayer in a room that's becoming too heavy to bear. Yeah, my heart's in the hallway, beginning to sting, while I'm waiting for a door to swing. Every car that passes is a heartbeat of hope, a slippery knot at the end of my rope. I imagine your hand reaching out for the latch, like a flickering light from a dying out match. But the porch light is buzzing, a lonely old sound, and your footprints are fading from the driveway ground. Is it locked from the outside or bolted from here? Is the distance between us a mile or a year? I'd break down the wood if I thought you'd be there, but I'm just fighting a battle with empty room air. I'm just waiting for a door to swing wide, to let the forever back in from the outside. But the hinges are rusted and the handle is cold, on a story that's already been bought and sold. setting the table for two. Habits are the hardest things to break. I bought the coffee that you like, even though the silence is more than I can take. The clock on the wall is ticking loud, but the hands haven't moved since you left. I'm living in a house of almost, and breathing in the scent of your theft. They say that time is a healer, but time is just a thief in the night, stealing the warmth from the covers and turning off every last light. Now I'm just a ghost in the hallway, searching for a hand I can't hold, chasing the lines of a story that we promised would never grow old. You're a beautiful map to a city that burned to the ground in the weather, and I'm stranded here in the ruins of our yesterdays. Forever. I saw your car in the distance today, and for a second my heart forgot to ache. I had a joke saved up to tell you before I realized it was my own mistake. Your side of the bed is still perfect. The pillows haven't learned how to cry. It's funny how the old ways we whispered turn into a never so shy. Forever is a heavy word to carry when you're the only one left with the weight. It's a bridge that leads to a dead end. It's a love that arrived just too late. I'm screaming your name at the ceiling, but the echo is all that replies. I'm drowning in all of the somedays that died in the back of your yesterday. You said it was forever now. Forever is just a day ago. I'm still waiting for the sun to rise, but the shadows are all I know. Just a memory. Yesterdays. Forever. I'm standing in the middle of the glass and twisted steel, checking for the pulse of something I no longer feel. The smoke is rising slowly from the promises we made. I'm shivering in the quiet, watching all the colors fade. I don't need a witness to tell me who's to blame. The headlights are extinguished, and I've forgotten my own name. I'm walking away from the wreck, There's a suitcase in the distance, spilling letters in the dirt. A paper trail of everything that's ever caused us hurt. I used to think the crash was just a temporary spark, but now I see the outline of our ruins in the dark. I'm not reaching for the phone, I'm not calling for a tow. There's nothing left to salvage here and nowhere left to go. The sirens are a whisper fading out behind my back. I'm following the yellow lines across the lonely black. Don't tell me it's a tragedy, don't tell me it's a shame. Some things are built to shatter, some are built to burn in flame. I'm walking away from the wreck. On the road, dropping every memory like a heavy jagged load. My heart is black and blue and my breath is coming thin, but I'm finally exiting the state we're in, yeah. I'm walking away from the wreck. No rearview mirror, the air is getting clearer. With every mile, I'm just walking, just walking. Just on the footsteps on good. I'm picking at the corner by the kitchen door, where the floral pattern doesn't meet the floor. Underneath the yellow and the faded vine is a pencil mark tally of your height and mine. I remember the Saturday we smoothed it down, before the silence started moving through this town. The adhesive is dry and the colors are bled, like the forever and always that we both said. It's bubbling up like a secret in the wall, waiting for the gravity of us to fall. I'm living in a house of wallpaper memories, peeling back the layers of our histories. A floral print heaven that's starting to tear, revealing the hollow and the gray that was there. I can't look at the roses without seeing the glue of a life that was plastered on a version of you. Yeah, it's paper thin comfort, a beautiful lie in these wallpaper memories saying goodbye. Behind the sideboard, the color is bright. It never saw the damage of the morning light. It's a time capsule shadow of a sunnier day, before we let the water wash the ink away. I wanna strip it all down to the plaster and laugh, and find a way out of this aftermath. If I rip it all off, will the structure remain? I'm standing right beneath the ledge where we used to talk, but the words have all retreated like lines of summer chalk. I open up my mouth to catch a drop of what we had, but the taste is only hollow and the air is only sad. There's a roar inside my eardrums of the things we didn't say, and it's washing every color from the center of the day. You're looking through me like I'm made of glass, and it's like a ghost of a lover that you never even kissed. The pressure's building up behind the dam of my teeth, while the world is getting colder in the river underneath. It's a waterfall of silence crashing on my head, drowning out the I love yous that we left for dead. A thunder and quiet, a heavy white spray, washing the forever of our history away. I'm gasping for a whisper, I'm reaching for a sound, but I'm pinned against the rocks where the quiet is found. Yeah, I'm losing my footing in the violent cold blue, in a waterfall of silence that's spilling from you. The foam is at my ankles and the mist is in my eyes, masking the reflection of these gray and heady skies. I thought we were a fountain, a constant living flow, but the source has gone to winter and the current's moving slow. It's funny how the quiet can be louder than a scream when it's tearing through the fabric of a long forgotten dream. If I scream into the curtain, will the water start to break, or will it just absorb every heart shattering ache? It's a wall made of nothing that feels like a stone, leaving me to shiver in the spray all alone. It's a waterfall of silence crashing on my head, drowning out the I love yous that we left for dead. A thunder and quiet, a heavy white spray, washing the forever of our history away. I'm gasping for a whisper, I'm reaching for a sound, but I'm pinned against the rocks where the quiet is found. Yeah, I'm losing my footing in the violent cold blue, in a waterfall of silence that's spilling from you. Coming down, going under, without the lightning, without the thunder, just the white, just the cold, just the story that won't be told. The silence, the fall. I bought them at the corner when the petals were like gold, a vibrant little promise that will never turn to mold. You set them in the window where the morning hit the glass, and we swore the sunny feeling was a thing that wouldn't pass. But the water's gone cloudy and the lights moved off the floor, and I don't hear your footsteps coming through the kitchen door. Now they're just wilted sunflowers bowing their heads like tragedy, a mirror of myself. They used to follow you around the way they do the sun, but the shadows overtook us till the damage was all done. I'm still trying to revive them, pouring water in the vase, but you can't fix the ending when you lost the starting place. They say that flowers understand when the spirit leaves the room, that they'll only stay in color if there's a reason left to bloom. I guess they saw you packing, saw the luggage by the bed, and they decided it was easier to just be still and dead. Yeah, they just wilted sunflowers, bowing their heads, like every single I love you that we ever left unsaid. The yellow's turning brown and the stems are bending low, too heavy with the weight of watching you decide to go. They're reaching for a summer that's lived its final day, just a bouquet of regrets that I can't throw. Petals on the floor, dust upon the leaves. Nothing grows in here anymore except for what I grieve. Wilted sunflowers in a house of rain. I checked the ledger and I did the math, looking for a way out of this aftermath. I gave 100, you gave a 10, then you took it all back and you did it again. The bank of us is closing its doors. I'm picking my heart up off of your floors. I thought the interest would grow over time, that loving you wasn't a wasted dime. But the balance is dropping, it's hitting the floor, and I can't find a reason to pay anymore. It's a zero-sum love, a hollowed out game, where winning and losing both feel the same. I'm adding up tears while you're subtracting the years, till there's nothing but silence left in my ears. One of us gains only when the other one bleeds. A garden of hunger and a pocket of seeds. We're back at the start, at the bottom of knowing, a zero-sum love and nowhere to go. You took the laughter and left me the dead of every I love you that I'm gonna regret. The more that you win, the more that I break. There's a limit to how much a spirit can take. The equation is simple, the answer is clear. I disappear whenever you're near. Equals and opposites, pluses and sins. Nobody cheers when the tragedy wins. We cancel each other like ink in the rain, until there's nothing but beautiful pain. It's a zero-sum love, a hollowed out game, where winning and losing both feel the same. I'm adding up tears while you're subtracting